We've been hearing harrowing stories from people who made it out after Hurricane Dorian flattened parts of the Bahamas. Well, 2 Americans were stranded there, losing contact with their husbands in the middle of the storm. Nikki Battiste is in Nassau, the Bahamian capital. Nikki, this sounds extremely scary.
Yes, it is, Dorica. Good morning. Pam and Joann tell us they were rescued and flown home to Florida yesterday. But when the hurricane hit, they were on the phone with their husbands back in the U.S. when their screens went black. And for the next 48 hours, their husbands feared the worst.
We were terrified. They saw us being terrified and then saw all connection with us completely go black.
Pam, Mobley, and Joann Coakley were FaceTiming with their husbands back home when Hurricane Dorian struck while they were on vacation.
The walls were literally pulsing.
The house was alive like this.
It was just and we were underneath the table, and then we were in a bathtub, and then we were in a closet, and we were absolutely terrified.
The 2 best friends couldn't get in touch with their family for another 48 hours.
And we knew they thought we were dead, and that was probably the worst part for me.
At home, their husbands were glued to the television for 20 hours a day, desperately looking for answers.
The last visualization we had was a house coming down on our wives. I mean, that's when panic mode was.
Meanwhile, Joann and Pam, who is a physician, went out in the middle of the hurricane to help treat anyone who was injured.
It was just a house, and I have a home to go back to, but the people in Green Turtle, they don't, and it's going to be years before they're comfortable again.
Some residents' entire families were rescued, like 1-year-old Rain and her mother, Austina Dean.
What kept me going was the child. That was it. I looked at her and I was like, nope, my baby's not going out like this.
58-year-old Isaiah had debris-filled water up to his neck and held on to a piece of wood trying to survive.
I'm thankful, very, very thankful to be alive, to tell my story, because I know there are many who are not alive to talk about it.
Pam's husband told us this experience reminded him it's not material things that matter, and it's time to focus on what's most important, family. Pam says she wants to come back here to the Bahamas to help once she's regrouped. Anthony?
All right, Nikki Battiste in the Bahamas. Thank you, Nikki. We're going to have a lot of those stories over the next weeks as people, find each other and rebuild there.
Absolutely.